Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Adi Achint. In my search to understand all the so-called disputed territories between India and China, I have made two other videos. One on the northern regions of Ladakh, including the Depsang Plains, the Galwan Valley, the area of hot springs, and the second video on the region of Pangong Tso. If you've not seen my previous videos, I'd recommend you go watch them, as I try and provide a very clear understanding of the various sectors involved in these regions, as well as the battle lines between the Indian Army and the People's Liberation Army of China. And might I also add, while you watch my videos, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So here is my third video about the central sector of this dispute between the two countries. This will cover the region of Domchuk and Chumar, a region in the state of Himachal Pradesh, and the region in Uttarakhand. Although the region in Himachal Pradesh as well as Uttarakhand have been relatively quiet over the years, but it is still important for us to understand what all the three areas are all about and how the geography and the topography, as well as the strategic importance to the region, affects this entire battleground. I will show you where the lines of occupation by each one of the two countries flow along with small historical as well as strategic insights into the names so much heard in the news today. The first sector that we will discuss is the Demchok-Chumar sector, and the first thing that I'd like to show you here is the Indus River, which is close to a place called Dungti. North of this, you can clearly see the international border flowing down to a place called Chardingla before meeting the border of the state of Himachal Pradesh. Here at Dungti, we will see the Indus River, which is pretty much embroiled in tensions between the two armies. The next point I'd like to take your attention to is the point A that I have particularly marked out just for the clear sake of understanding of the line of control that actually flows south from this region. So the line of control goes from this point A to point B and then goes along the banks of the Indus River to the village of Demchok, curving a little bit to the southwest to the place, as I mentioned earlier, Chardingla. This picture of the map is a rendition of the territory in question. The line on the outside, as shown to you by my cursor, is the international boundary between the two countries. The line on the left is the Chinese perceived LAC. The line in the center here is to the area where the Indian forces have complete control. On these earth images, one thing that I would like to show you again is the same area wherein the line of actual control, which is currently held by the Indian forces, starts from point A to point B to the village of Demchok and down to Chardingla, whereas the point of the LAC as per the Chinese starts from the point A to point B to this pass called Umlingla and down to Chardingla. The central sector between this is the contested land between the Chinese. This, apart from having already occupied the rest of the territories during the War of 1962. Now let us discuss each one of these features that I've marked out for you a little bit in detail. The first thing, as I had mentioned before, is the Indus River, also known as the Sindhu, which is one of the longest rivers in Asia, originating in the Tibetan plateau, close to the lake of Mansarovar. The river runs through Ladakh towards Gilgit-Baltistan and south to meet the Arabian Sea, flowing the entire direction of the country of Pakistan. In this area, the river forms the line of actual control between the two armies at we will see. And mind you, this is not the line of control that the Chinese perceive. On your screen now, you can see the point A as I've marked out for you, as well as the point B. If you notice, this is bang on the river banks of the Indus River. The third feature that we will see is again the Indus River south of this direction towards the village of Demchok. Now on the top of your screen you see the Demchok village, which is in India. On the bottom of your screen is the Chinese occupied village of Demchok. Now the line of actual control actually flows down from this stream, which is known as the Lahari stream or the Charding Nala. This stream takes its name from the Lahari Kapo. That is something that we will now look at. Lahari Kapo is a peak which is sacred to both Buddhists and Hindus alike. One thing I'd like to mention, which I'm sure you can also see on the screen, is a helipad that is around here. So it is reassuring to know that Indian Army actually has an observation post right on top. Now, Demchok is the name of a Buddhist tantric deity who is believed to reside on the Mount Kailash, no less, and whose imagery is parallel to Lord Shiva for the Buddhists. This peak is also referred to as Chota Kailash by the Hindus, and it is at an altitude of 18,077 feet. The next feature I'd like to show you is the Chadingla Pass, located at an altitude of 16,960 feet, opening out into the Chading Plateau. The line of actual control as well as international borders come down into this particular pass. This entire sector of operations is known as the Chumar Demchok sector and is supported by the big base of the Indian Army at Chumar, which we can see on the screens now. Further, this is supported by an airstrip in a place called Phukche, which is close to point B as we saw earlier, and an advanced landing ground in a place called Neoma. One begs the question, what interest is this area to the Chinese? In my opinion, the Xinjiang Tibet Road, which I'm just going to show you, which is marked as G219, is the main objective of the Chinese to protect from the so-called Indian aggression. Moving south of the region of Demchok and Chumar, we will now move to the state of Himachal Pradesh, where there is a small but still significant border dispute with China. Although the region of Himachal Pradesh has been relatively quiet over the years, but it shares a 260 km porous border on its northeastern side with Chinese occupied Tibet. On your screen now is the entire area in dispute, as I showed you in the map as well. The first feature that I would like to show you here is right on top of your screen, called Mount Gaya, located bang on the international border at a height of about 22,200 feet, is the second highest peak in this region. The highest peak in this region is known as Rio Purgil. Right here, it is at an altitude of 22,300 feet, again on the international border itself. Now there is a small village here called Kaurik. This is famous for being the last village on the border in the Lahaul Spiti area between India and Tibet. Another point to mention that this entire region is known as the sugar sector by the Indian Army. This small little village is part of another region that the Chinese claim and dispute. The next feature that we will see here is the Shipkila Pass. Again, as you can see, bang on the international border is an ancient trade route between the two countries of India and Tibet. In 1954, the Chinese did try an incursion in this area, but were not successful. After some negotiation on the ground, things didn't really span out. One thing I'd like to mention here is the main principle of delineating a border in the mountainous regions and these kind of terrain is always the watershed area. China obviously does not agree to this principle. Even today, half the problems in the mountainous regions between the two countries are because China does not agree to the principle of the watershed. In April 1954, the Chinese signed the Panchsheel Agreement, wherein it was agreed between the both countries to keep this mountain pass open for traders and pilgrims. But after the recent developments in various other sectors, it is difficult to believe the Chinese on any agreement that they have signed. You can also see the Shipkila Pass road, which is quite a zigzag road connecting the pass. I'd also like to show you another small feature, which is the Tashigang Monastery on the side of the mountain, which Chinese bring up whenever spoken about this region. This is a Buddhist monastery, and it is not of great mystery why the Chinese keep bringing this up. The next region that we would look at is a part of the central sector in the state of Uttarakhand, wherein both China and Nepal seem to have interest in Indian sovereign territory. The Chinese interest in this or any other area can be explained as just being China. Having said that, the interest that Nepal shows in this region begs the question, who indeed is calling the shots in the so-called government of Nepal? The state of Uttarakhand has a 350 kilometer border with China and a 275 kilometer border with Nepal. The first region in this sector that we would look at is the area of Pulam Sumda, Barahoti, which is right here, both being grazing grounds traditionally used by shepherds of both India and Tibet. This area has been a witness to multiple incursions by the Chinese troop as well as aggressive flying maneuvers in the airspace. Southeast of this region is the Mana Pass at an altitude of 18,478 feet. It is one of the highest in this region. As per the reports of Indian Army, this sector has been secured by our troops to prevent any misadventure from the People's Liberation Army of China. I would also like to take a moment to discuss the absurd claims by the Nepalese government as well. The entire issue with the Nepalese started when, as per them by the way, India prepared a road right from Pithoragarh to Darchula to Gunji and right up to Lipu Lake Pass, which is at about 17,050 feet. This is considered to be the main road for the pilgrims to visit the Kailash Mansarovar area seen on the top of your screen. The Nepalese have been crying foul over this road and post instigation from we all know whom released a new map in their parliament taking into this area which I am showing you right now. Now this is the area that the Nepalese actually dispute. The Limpiadhura Pass right here, the Lipu Lake Pass right here, and the region of Kalapani. Now just to mention, the Limpiadhura Pass is almost at a similar altitude as Lipu Lake, which is at about 17,500 feet. But the Kalapani region has ranges between the altitude of 11,000 and 20,000 feet. Traditionally, the border between India and Nepal flows through something known as the Kali River or the Sarda River as it's mentioned right here. It really begs the question why the Nepalese are trying to change this particular thing, especially when the Nepalese know that the Indians are involved in a dispute with China. Might it just be that they are connected? Might it just be that the Communist Party of Nepal, in one way or the other, is subservient to the Communist Party of China? Well, it's all for us to know and judge. Although in the current news report, the action seems to be happening in either the region of Ladakh, especially at the Depsang Plains, close to the airfield of DBO or Daulat Beg Oldi, as well as some movement of Chinese troops which have also been noticed here in the region of Arunachal Pradesh. I've already done a video on the region of Ladakh and request you to please watch it as I give details about its sector in that particular region. My next video would cover the region, as I mentioned above, of Arunachal Pradesh and the various points that the Indian Army finds itself at loggerheads with the People's Liberation Army of China. As the winter sets in the area of Ladakh, as I say all the time in every video, I'd like to once again send your thoughts to our soldiers guarding the border in this unforgiving environment and temperature as well as terrain, once a day, every day. Jai Hind.